All right, good morning. The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today is Monday, March 2nd, 2026. My name is Cheryl Renazza, serving as chairman of today's panel, which is a 5-member panel this morning. Seated on the panel with me this morning to my far left is Mr. Chuck Tillis. My immediate left, Mrs. Jerry Ledoux. My immediate right is Mr. Steve Prater, and my far right is Mr. Pete Freeman. Because we are a 5-member panel today, it does require a unanimous vote of all 5 members. We are at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge. I'd like the staff here at headquarters, please introduce yourself for the record.
Sure. Francis Abbott.
All right, thank you. And our first location this morning is at Elaine Hunt Correctional Center. Good morning, Warden. Would you and your staff introduce yourself for the record?
Yes, Warden Travis Day.
Darius Credit, Assistant Warden Classification.
Christy LeBlanc, Classification.
All right, thank you. Thanks for hosting us this morning, Warden. We appreciate your surroundings.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have before us Mr. Johnson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name, your DOC number.
My name is Durrell Johnson. DOC number is 439-966.
All right, Mr. Johnson, let me just read some identifying information into the record. We'll acknowledge the folks who are here who have an interest in this case, and I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Ledoux after that because your case has been assigned to her. She's going to take the lead, okay?
Well,
So, Mr. Johnson, you are classified as a first felony offender. You're currently serving a 40-year sentence for 2 counts of armed robbery and attempted first-degree murder. Your parole eligibility date was June 8th, 2023, and your good time release date is December 2nd, 2033. Does all that sound correct?
yes, ma'am. Correct.
Let me just acknowledge real quickly on Zoom, we have James Levine, a friend and employer, and also your son, Durrell Johnson, Jr. Those are here in support. In opposition, we have from the District Attorney's Office, Mr. Randy Meyer, and we'll call on them for their remarks shortly. Mrs. Ledoux.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, we traditionally ask someone, and I hope you're prepared to answer, what is it that caused you to be incarcerated, and why do you think that today would be a good time to consider early release for you?
Well, what caused me to become incarcerated was my lack of responsibility. I just became a father to my then 9-month-old son. And I was dealing with a lot of financial struggles and difficulties adjusting to society and controlling my emotions, and it became overwhelming.
Okay, so how old were you when you committed, because you're a first felony offender, and but that wasn't your first time to have interaction with law enforcement.
Yes, ma'am.
So how old were you when you committed this crime?
I was 22 years old.
23. Okay. At your last hearing, you had the Parole Project who supported you for your release plan. They're not here today, so has a relationship changed there?
I don't know, ma'am. I haven't spoken with him, but perhaps the situation has changed. But I do have a residence with my parents in Kenner, Louisiana.
Okay, so you plan to go to Kenner.
That's fine.
And that's with your parents, you said?
Yeah.
Looking at your report in terms of your rehabilitative programming, you've done a significant amount of work. How many good time days has he accumulated? Did somebody tell me real quickly? We have a new form in the classification. You know, tell me.
591, 591.
Over 500 good time days accumulated. That's significant. So you got your bachelor's degree, see that. You have a welding trade. What was the most impactful class that you took?
The most impactful class for me was victim impact, I have to say, because it actually showed me, it gave me enlightenment and helped me understand the victim's point of view and what they had to go through when I committed my offense. And I deeply regret making a poor decision because I didn't know the impact that it would have on others and also myself as well.
Didn't think down the road very far, huh? Okay. You haven't had a write-up since 2018, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I noticed that two of your victims could not be located, and one of your victims is unopposed to your release. And that's to your advantage, certainly. I don't have any further questions. I reviewed your file very carefully. You had your pre-release, you have your GED and welding trade, you have substance abuse, living in balance, anger management, you've got your degree, bachelor's degree. I mean, I think you've done notable work. Warden, what would you have to say about this offender? I know it's probably one of your first times to see him, but looking over it, do you have any comments?
Well, so he and I, we met last week, went through his file and as with you, realized that he has taken a bunch of classes and, did a lot of work on that aspect. Reviewing his disciplinary record, I did also, recognize that he did have some issues early on in the correctional system, but, you know, it looks like since 2018, he's made a turn. Currently, he is a trustee here and goes out to work every day. So right now, it looks like he has his head screwed on and he's a model inmate at the moment.
Thank you, Warden, for that input. Do my colleagues have any questions? I don't have any.
How long have you actually served on this sentence?
25 years, sir.
I have no question.
I'm prepared.
Okay, well, let's hear first from the folks who want to speak on your behalf. Mr. Levine, could we hear from you, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Thank you. I've known Durrell for quite a while. As you know, we used to be roommates. Durrell was one of the first people I met when I actually arrived at Lane Hunt. He was one of the first people to show me how to find the education building and to encourage me to get involved with classes. I was already on that path, but it definitely didn't hurt to have somebody patting me on the back and showing me. I know that he took his welding trade very, very seriously. He was one of the few guys that I would see actually go back to the dorm and study in the dorm instead of going and getting caught up in the foolishness and playing basketball. He was definitely focused on his education. He graduated in the top of his class in that trade. Durrell actually comes out and works where I'm employed out at the Gillis Long Center. He works out there on the grounds crew, and he is one of the very few on that crew that is always busy, always working. The staff that actually supervises him love him, and they've already said they will absolutely favor him if he decides to go through the hiring process. I also introduced Durrell to Evan Wood, who is the welding instructor for the Job Corps program out there. And he told me that as soon as Durrell is out, bring Durrell to him. He has plenty of contacts in the welding trade, and he will make sure he finds employment. There are a lot of people that need to be in prison, and Durrell definitely needed to be. I don't think he needs to be anymore. I think he has turned a corner. He's definitely improved himself. He's done everything he can to become a productive and quality citizen. I hope this board will take that into consideration. Thank you for this time.
Thank you, sir. So I think by Zoom, we have Mr. Johnson Jr. Is he on the call? Durrell, can you unmute your mic on your phone? Still there? Yeah. We're gonna try to call him. We can do it on the phone. He's having trouble with his device, so we're gonna just hear from him on the phone. All right, Durrell,
Yes, ma'am.
go ahead, sir. Tell us what you want us to know.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to say, I really think my dad deserves a second chance. It's been a long time. I'm 25, I'm turning 26 tomorrow. He's been in there for 25 years. That's really all I gotta say.
Well, thanks for taking the time to share that with us. We appreciate hearing from you.
All right, thank you.
All right, and next we have Mr. Randy Meyer from the DA's office. Good morning.
Good morning, Randall Meyer, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. This is a tough one on me. Mr. Johnson has done a lot of good. The biggest concerns I have during his term while incarcerated is, the only living in balance back in 2010 was, I believe, the only program he's taken that dealt with substance abuse, which I think is something that he needed or needs. Most of his programming is old. His disciplinary record has gotten much better in recent years. I think it's since 2018, I believe, since he's had his last write-up. The biggest issue I have is the fact that he was shooting at police officers, and I'm having a hard time reconciling what he has accomplished in the crime that he committed against police officers. And the fact that one of those officers has no opposition, again, makes it difficult for me. I think we're gonna have to maintain an opposition based on that, based on the fact that he did shoot at police officers. But I do recognize a lot of the good work he's done while he's been incarcerated.
All right, thank you, sir. We appreciate hearing from you. All right, I think the panel's prepared to vote. Mrs. Ledoux?
Mr. Johnson, I don't know what age your parents are. I hope that they're prepared for your arrival if you're released. But my vote is going to be to grant, because you have put in the work necessary to become a productive member of society. You've done everything that you could to make yourself a good candidate today, and so my vote is to grant.
Mr. Tillis?
My vote also is to grant.
Mr. Prater?
It's like the DA there is a tough one for me, from my background in law enforcement, but in reviewing your file and the fact that you've spent 25 years in jail already, and you got, you're 47 years old, you were a young man when it occurred, I'll concur with the votes thus far cast and say that you deserve a chance from your conduct since you've been incarcerated.
Mr. Freeman?
I voted against you last time, but no more write-ups since that hearing. My vote today is going to be to grant. But I do, when you get out, I do want a substance abuse evaluation and follow any recommended treatment.
Thank you.
And, Mr. Johnson, based on what I see in the record, the remarks by the warden, the support that you have, my vote today also is to grant with the same special conditions. So you've been granted parole today. Good luck.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, good morning. Committee on Parole is now at the Riverbend Detention Center. Good morning. Would the officer, sir, would you please state your name for the record?
John Murphy.
The officer, who's the officer there with you?
Lieutenant Jonathan.
Okay, thank you, Lieutenant, for accommodating us this morning. And Mr. Murphy, so we'd like you to tell us your name and DOC number.
John Murphy, 34, 2762.
Okay, sir, and can you, I'd like to ask the lieutenant if they can adjust the camera a little bit because I can only see the top of your head. Can you, or he can push back a little bit maybe?
Yeah, just push back. Come on back.
Yeah, that's much
That's
better.
good.
Thank you, thank you. Can you see us okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let me just read some information into the record before we get started. Mr. Murphy, you're classified as a 5th felony offender. You're currently serving a 22-year sentence. You were sentenced in June of 2020 for aggravated flight from an officer and resisting the police. Your parole eligibility date was October 20th, 2021, and your good time date is January 26th, 2042. Does all that sound right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we want to acknowledge the folks who are here today in support. We have Detrice Smith and Keisha Murphy in support. We'll hear from them shortly. And we also have a representative from the DA's office in Jefferson Parish who wishes to have input. But first, Mr. Murphy, your case this morning has been assigned to Mr. Tillis, seated to my far left. Would you answer his question?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Murphy, how are you this morning?
All right. Bless.
Good. Tell us why you're incarcerated and what caused you to be there, and why do you feel that we should vote favorably for you today?
First, I was on a possession of 9 pills, and they gave me 30 years for that. I made parole, and I went to the store one night, and the police pulled me over coming from the store and told me that I was involved in a high-speed chase. I had my mother flip-flops on, so furry slippers, so I couldn't have been in it. But I ended up taking the deal that they gave me because I was threatened with a life sentence. So I had to take the 3 years. I didn't want the life sentence.
You had been paroled before?
Yes, yes, sir.
How long had you been out?
2019.
And you got pulled over again for,
I wasn't in the car. I was walking. I was basically walking. This is like 3 weeks after I got out.
the records we have show that you were in the car with him.
I was in the car with him. No, they
Yes.
said, no, that's what the police, that's how the police put it. Like I was driving the car.
So what have you done since you've been incarcerated?
I finally got my education. Now I was real proud of that. You know, that's a big thing in my life that I always wanted to get. I finally got my high set. I mailed it to the board. I don't know if y'all got a copy of it or not, but there's the two jails that I've been to, they don't offer pretty much. And I was, you know, the time that I have, the little programs that they do got, I wasn't eligible to get in. But if it was something that I could have got in, I already have it under my belt. So
I
I'm
see.
just basically just, you know, rebuilding myself. That's what I'm basically doing.
Have you had a problem with drugs?
Drugs, I'm surrounded by drugs and violence every day, and my maturity just allowed me not to be part of it. You know, every day is just around me every day.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about I'm talking about when you were on the outside, were you involved in drugs?
No, not this rep here, but before I did have a drug problem, I was sentenced to, when I made the parole, I went to Concordia drug rehab because I admitted to a drug problem that I had, and I was sentenced to the rehab.
Have you taken any other classes for a drug?
No, no, sir. Substance abuse like AANA, constantly going to AANA. That's all that DOC really have to offer for it. It's like drugs, and it's based upon what you're gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Not just what the facility has to offer. Everything just boils down to if you're gonna do it or not.
Yeah, I saw where you've had a lot of classes but have you taken pre-release or substance abuse?
I have taken before, yes.
You have?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't have any more questions.
Any other questions?
I just want to point out, Mr. Murphy, that you said you were just walking down the street. It was, according to the report, you were found hiding under some bushes. And when they found you, you tried to break away and threw punches at the deputies.
No, they beat me up and literally knocked me out and put me in a car and brought me like a mile away from where I was. And this is the case that they built up on me. When I got to the jail, everything was just messed. I couldn't even walk. They beat me with the bullets and everything. My mouth was busted.
Okay. And did you have cocaine?
No, no, sir.
Okay, because they found a bag of cocaine where you had run from.
No,
All right,
I was on, not to cut you off, but I was only charged with aggravated flight. They was trying to charge me with a stolen car, and it's funny how the stolen car and the drugs just disappeared, but y'all charged me with an aggravated flight. I wasn't even charged with the car or the drugs, but I was still charged with I was convicted for the aggravated flight.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
All right, so to be clear, we're talking about two separate incidents.
Right.
No, this the same incident.
No. One of them that where you talked about the pills was in May of 2008, and the one Mr. Freeman was questioning you about happened in 2019.
Yes,
Correct.
sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's two
All
separate
right, well,
incidents.
before we'll have some more questions for you perhaps, but first we'd like to hear from the folks that want to speak. Could we hear from Detrice Smith, please?
She's there.
Oh, she still hasn't joined. So is Keisha Murphy in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Go ahead, ma'am. What would you like us to know about your brother?
I think that He's an intelligent young man. He just went down the wrong road, and now hopefully he get out here and do what he have to do. Like he have a lot of support behind him, a lot of work that's waiting for him out here. Um, and he been doing good. He been doing good so far.
Well, good. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with us this morning. Ms. Smith still's not in?
She said she's working on it.
All right, well, we're going to move on to Mr. Myers with the DA's office.
Good morning, Randall Meyer, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. I originally was coming in today, based on some of Mr. Murphy's comments in the record, essentially asking that he be moved to a location that could provide him some substance abuse and other programming. And I was, I think he still needs that, and I would not be opposed to that. But I'm opposed to him now, based on his statements on the record. According to the police report, there was a stolen vehicle. He was observed putting gas into the stolen vehicle. The police came up. He took off, drove very recklessly, ended up sliding, losing control of the vehicle, then fled, hid, and then, had the altercation with the officers. Based on his statements today, I don't think he's being truthful with the board about what occurred at that evening. For those reasons, I'm opposed to his request.
All right, thank you, sir. Any other questions? Other people?
Yes, sir. You've got 30 years for possessing 9 pills.
Yes, sir.
Is that all? That's the whole story. There's no other backstory to that.
I got 30 years for possession of 9 pills, and they quiet bill me, and that's how I get the 30.
Okay, you got a habitual offender.
You gave me 4 years for the pills, and quiet bill me and give me the 30 years.
Okay, so there's more to the story. I just didn't want anybody that might be listening to this to think that we gave somebody 30 years for possessing 9 pills. That ain't the story.
I was quiet bill. I got the 4 years for the pills and quiet bill and got 30 years.
Okay. I'm just curious. Part of our decision that we make is on whether we feel like that you're accountable for what you were caught doing.
Right.
And I'm having a hard time with this accountability deal. I don't believe you're gonna be able to convince me that you're accountable. I don't have any questions.
All right. Thank you, sir. Council, ready to vote? Mr. Tillis?
Person did log in? Yes.
The other person log in?
Patrice. Somebody logged in.
She did?
Mr. Tillis, you ready to vote?
Yeah. Mr. Murray, based on law enforcement opposition and the testimony today from you, it's not lining up with what we have. My vote today is going to be to deny.
Mrs. Ledoux?
Based on your extensive criminal history and not being exactly upfront with us, my vote is also to deny.
Ms. Prater?
Deny.
Mr. Freeman?
My vote is also to deny.
Mr. Murphy, my vote today is to deny your parole based on the opposition and the extensive criminal history. I do want to commend you, though, on your educational achievements that you're proud of. You should be proud of it. And we will try to see if we can get you somewhere to get you some more programming. But good luck to you, sir.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, Mr. Treese is on the line right now. Damn, this just logged up.